从前有个老太太，尽管身边没什么值得高兴的事，她却总是乐观开朗，因为她年迈、贫穷又孤单。
There was once a woman who was very, very cheerful, though she had little to make her so, for she was old and poor and lonely.
她住在一间小小的农舍里，靠着替邻居跑腿打杂，赚取微薄的生计。作为服务的报酬，她有时会得到一点吃的或喝的。
She lived in a little bit of a cottage and earned a scant living by running errands for her neighbors, getting a bite here, a sup there, as reward for her services.
尽管生活艰难，她还是努力过下去，而且总是看起来神采奕奕，笑容满面，仿佛世上无忧无虑一般。
So she made shift to get on, and always looked as spry and cheery as if she had not a want in the world.
就在一个夏日傍晚，她一如往常满脸笑容的小跑步在通往自己小屋的大路上。
Now one summer evening, as she was trotting, full of smiles as ever, along the high road to her hovel,
她看到了什么呢？只见路边的沟渠里躺着一个又大又黑的锅子。
What should she see but a big black pot lying in the ditch?
天哪！她喊道，如果我有东西可以放进去的话，这对我来说简直就是完美。但是我没有。究竟是谁把它留在水沟里的呢？
Goodness me, she cried. That would be just the very thing for me, if I only had something to put in it. But I haven't. Now who could have left it in the ditch?
她环顾四周，心想主人应该不会在太远的地方，但她却一个人也没看见。
And she looked about her, expecting the owner would not be far off, but she could see nobody.
也许她破了一个洞，她接着说，所以才被丢弃了。
Maybe there is a hole in it, she went on, and that's why it has been cast away.
但是它很适合放在窗边插花，所以我就把它带回家好了。
But it would do fine to put a flower in from my window, so I'll just take it home with me.
他说着，便掀开盖子往里面看。天哪！他惊讶不已地喊道，里面居然装满了金币，这真是好运气。
And with that, she lifted the lid and looked inside. Mercy me, she cried, fair amazed. If it isn't full of gold pieces, here's luck.
就这样，袋子里装满了闪闪发光的金币。她一开始只是傻傻地站着不动，不知道自己是头朝下还是脚朝上。
And so it was, brimful of great gold coins. Well, at first, she simply stood stock still, wondering if she was standing on her head or her heels.
然后她开始说，天哪，我真的觉得好有钱，我觉得超级有钱。
Then she began saying, Lux, but I do feel rich. I feel awful rich.
她说了好几次之后，便开始思考该怎么把这些宝藏带回家。
After she had said this many times, she began to wonder how she was to get her treasure home.
这东西对她来说太重了，她想不到更好的办法，只能把披肩的一端绑在上面，像手推车一样拖着走。
It was too heavy for her to carry, and she could see no better way than to tie the end of her shawl to it and drag it behind her like a go-kart.
天很快就要黑了，她边小跑边对自己说，那真是太好了，邻居们就不会看到我带了什么回家，而且我将拥有整个夜晚属于我自己，就能好好思考我该怎么办了。
It will soon be dark, she said to herself as she trotted along. So much the better. The neighbors will not see what I'm bringing home, and I shall have all the night to myself and be able to think what I'll do.
也许我会买一栋豪华的大房子，然后像女王一样，只是坐在火炉边喝杯茶，什么工作都不做。
Mayhap I'll buy a grand house and just sit by the fire with a cup of tea and do no work at all like a queen.
或者我会把它埋在花园的角落，只在壁炉架上的旧瓷茶筹里留一点点。
Or maybe I'll bury it at the garden foot and just keep a bit in the old china teapot on the chimney piece.
或者也许，天哪，天哪，我感觉太棒了，简直不认识自己了。
Or maybe, goody, goody, I feel that grand I don't know myself.
这时，他拖着这么重的东西，已经有点累了，于是停下来休息片刻，转头看向他的宝藏。
By this time, she was a bit tired of dragging such a heavy weight, and, stopping to rest a while, turned to look at her treasure.
没想到，这根本就不是一罐金子，它只不过是一块银块罢了。
And lo, it wasn't a pot of gold at all. It was nothing but a lump of silver.
他盯着它看，揉了揉眼睛，又再盯着它看。
She stared at it and rubbed her eyes and stared at it again.
哎呀，我真是从没见过。他终于说，我还以为那是一罐金子，我一定是做梦了。但这可是好运气，银子麻烦少得多，更容易保管，也不那么容易被偷。那些金块会要了我的命，而有了这么一大块银子。
Well, I never, she said at last, and me thinking it was a pot of gold. I must have been dreaming, but this is luck. Silver is far less trouble, easier to mind, and not so easy stolen. Them gold pieces would have been the death of me, and with this great lump of silver?
于是他又动身了，盘算着他要做什么，感觉自己富裕得不得了。直到再次有些疲倦，他停下来休息，并环顾四周，看看他的宝藏是否安全。
So she went off again, planning what she would do, and feeling as rich, until, becoming a bit tired again, she stopped to rest and gave a look round to see if her treasure was safe.
他看到只有一大块铁块，
And she saw nothing but a great lump of iron.
哦，真是从没见过。他又说，我还把它误认为是银子，我一定是做梦了。
Well, I never, says she again. And I mistaking it for silver? I must have been dreaming.
但这真是太幸运了，太方便了。我可以用旧铁换取铜板，铜板对我来说比你的金银更有用。
But this is luck. It's real convenient. I can get penny pieces for old iron, and penny pieces are a deal handier for me than your gold and silver.
为什么我以前从未因害怕被抢而睡不好？但是铜板很实用，我会把那些铁卖掉，然后变得非常富有，富甲一方。
Why, I should never have slept a wink for fear of being robbed. But a penny piece comes in useful, and I shall sell that iron for a lot and be real rich, rolling rich.
他继续轻快地向前走，心里充满了如何花费那些铜板的计划，直到他再次停下来休息，并环顾四周，想确定他的宝藏是否安好。
So on she trotted, full of plans as to how she would spend her penny pieces, till once more she stopped to rest and looked round to see her treasure was safe.
而这一次，他只看到一颗大石头。
And this time she saw nothing but a big stone.
哎呀，真是想不到！他满脸笑容地喊道：“我竟然把它误认为铁块，我一定是做梦了。”
Well, I never, she cried, full of smiles. And to think I mistook it for iron. I must have been dreaming.
但这真是好运啊！而我正急着想要一块石头来挡住大门。
But here's luck indeed, and me wanting a stone terrible bad to stick open the gate.
哎呀，这真是时来运转，有好运真是件好事。
Eh, my, but it's a change for the better. It's a fine thing to have good luck.
于是他急着想看看那块石头怎么把门挡开，便小跑着下山，直到他自己的小屋。
So, all in a hurry to see how the stone would keep the gate open, she trotted off down the hill till she came to her own cottage.
他打开了门栓，然后转身去把他的披肩从身后小径上的石头上解下来。
She unlatched the gate and then turned to unfasten her shawl from the stone which lay on the path behind her.
没错，那确实是块石头，那里的光线很充足，足以看清他躺在那里，安静平和，正如石头该有的样子。
Aye, it was a stone sure enough. There was plenty light to see it lying there, douce and peaceable as a stone should.
他俯身解开披肩的末端，就在这时，哦，我的天！那突然跳了一下，尖叫了一声，瞬间变得像干草堆那么大。
So she bent over it to unfasten the shawl end, when, oh my! All of a sudden it gave a jump, a squeal, and in one moment was as big as a haystack.
然后他伸出4条又长又瘦的腿，甩出2只长长的耳朵，甩动着一条又长又大的尾巴，奔跑而去。
Then it let down 4 great lanky legs and threw out 2 long ears, nourished a great long tail, and romped off.
又踢又叫又嘶拧，还像个顽皮淘气的男孩一样哈哈大笑。
Kicking and squealing and whinnying and laughing like a naughty, mischievous boy.
老婆婆一直盯着他看，直到他完全消失在视线之外。
The old woman stared after it till it was fairly out of sight.
然后她也哈哈大笑起来。
Then she burst out laughing too.
哎呀，她咯咯地笑了起来。我真幸运啊，简直是这里最幸运的人了，竟然能让我独自一人看见妖怪野兽，才能这么自由地跟它相处。我的天哪，我真的感到很振奋，很棒。
Well, she chuckled, I am in luck. Quite the luckiest body hereabouts. Fancy my seeing the bogey beast all to myself, and making myself so free with it too. My goodness, I do feel that uplifted, that grand.
于是她走进自己的小屋，整个晚上都在为自己的好运而咯咯地笑着。
So she went into her cottage and spent the evening chuckling over her good luck.